this front office has done a marvelous job. But you look at the outside free agents, and I think the Bills are not going to go out and go get the guy. They're going to go out and sign a bunch of guys that are 28 to 30 years old on 1 to 2 year deals that they can walk away from and just throw guys in and say, let's see if it sticks.
Yeah.
I just don't foresee them spending a lot of money in the free agent market.
The free agent market being as dry as it is increases your draft capital, and it also increases the players that you currently have that you probably would move.
Yeah. But that reminds me. So oftentimes in the NFL draft, we see years where there's a lot of trades and then no trades, and then a lot of trades and no trades. And it goes on and off like that because a lot of times those top picks are selling, like the teams that move up into those early picks are selling future years.
Yes.
So there's less teams in the next year's draft because the teams that are there have multiple picks, right? So you don't always see movement the year after a big trade year. So last year, there were 10 total trades involving first-round picks, okay?
Gotcha.
Now, some of them were carryovers from the year before, but last year there were only 2 deals that included a first-round pick at the time, a future first-round pick. It was the Bills trade, I think the Browns trade, okay? I think the Browns were involved in the deal that got a future first.
Yep.
So that's it. We are primed for another really active year. And the draft last year was a riot. And that we did that down with Rock Sports, Rock Sports Network, Ryan Lasel, Icy Vic, down at 34 Rush at Batavia Downs and Gaming. It was a riot. And the excitement that was there was such a great atmosphere. And Spencer German was there, right?
Yes,
and Spencer was there. So we did that draft coverage, which simulcast on Facebook, which was great, and that was a really active year. We had like 8 trades that year in the first round. The Bills got to move out of the number 10 spot, which was just like enthralling to me because that trade never happens. But normally, what you see is the years that it's really active. The next year, nobody trades anything.
Yes.
I don't think we're in that position this year. I think this is a really active first-round trade. I think a lot of teams are going to be looking to move because there's a bevy of offensive talent that could go in top 10. And what does that do? But it pushes that defensive talent down to 11, 12, 13. And a guy who might be a number 4 or 5 pick might be there at 11.
Yeah.
And those trade, I think we're going to have a really, really active year. It should be an exciting draft. I don't know what the Bills are going to do.
It's going to be absolutely insane because aside from usually the coaching carousel that you have around this time, a lot of GMs, a lot of new GMs, and guys who are trying to put their stamp on this league might try to make some bold moves to do that.
Well, and another advantage for the Bills is that it seems like some previously retained GMs are moving to new teams, right? So like Gettleman goes to the Giants. That's gravy for Buffalo.
Yes.
Because now Buffalo has a relationship with the Giants. They still have the relationship with Carolina, right? They may not expressly know the GM in Carolina, but they still have ties to the organization, so making that phone call wouldn't be hard. But now you've taken a relationship from Carolina, and now you split that. Now you have a relationship with the Giants and with Carolina. You know? Super interesting. And the GM hire that really just shocks me is Elliott Wolf going to the Browns. What a great move by Cleveland. I cannot believe the Pack let him walk out of the building. Because here's a guy, I think his dad was the GM before in Green Bay. He had been with the organization forever, seen as this really progressive candidate, really great football mind. And
the Packers were traditionally old school too.
Yeah.
They were like, listen, they never signed a lot of free agents.
No.
Like, listen, we're going to build this team through the draft, and that's what they did. They would sign maybe 1 or 2 free agents.
Yeah,
Julius Peppers being
the one,
the big one. Yeah, and then they tried doing that this year with a couple other free agents.
They dipped their toes.
They got Cook.
Yeah,
they had Cook a couple years ago, and then they got rid of Cook, and that made Rodgers mad. They got Bennett. They cut Bennett. You know what I mean? So that just reinforced One of the things that they want to do, they want to try to, we're going to try to build this team through the draft, and that's where we're successful. And,
I get the
they got
philosophy.
they got great ownership up there.
Yeah, great ownership. It's literally the entire state of Wisconsin owns the Packers. But it just tells you how. But that's the little stuff that happens in the NFL that I think a lot of times the really avid fan will just miss, right?
Yes.
Because you're so tied up in one team, you just miss the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So the Bills have never had a relationship with the Packers. I would never. If I try and think of when the Bills and the Packers have ever had a relationship, I can't. I cannot think of one time. Maybe when the Bills signed James Lofton, that was like the last time the Bills and the Packers organization, like
Bryce Pop.
Bryce Pop. Okay, that'd be more recent. But I can't think of a time where that happened. So a change in the GM in Green Bay might help the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Or it might not make any difference. But I can tell you that Wolf going to Cleveland makes a big difference for the Bills because he's a young candidate. Beane's young. This is a very, very cool kids club to be a general manager in the NFL. And the young kids are going to stick together. So if you're looking to package picks to move up for a quarterback in this draft, 21 and 22 doesn't get you top 5.
No.
Not even close to it.
No.
You're looking at 21, 22 plus.
Because as we know, being a Bills fans,
Yep.
you're in the top 10 for a reason.
Yep.
You have multiple needs.
Yep.
You have things that you have to do. And with the quarterbacks that are coming out, you're going to have to bundle 21, 22, maybe a player or a pick in the following year.
I think you could get away with 21. I think you could bundle 21 and a future for a top 10. Top 5?
Top 10.
No
Top 5, no.
Top 5, no way.
Top 5 picks are almost already drafted.
Yeah.
I know that sounds kind of crazy, but those are guys. This is who we want. This is who we may get. If this guy's available, this guy's available.
Exactly. So, like, if you're Indianapolis, you're looking at saying we've got Saquon Barkley until somebody makes us an offer that makes us not want Barkley any longer, right? Because they're sitting at 3. And the way that draft is going to go, it's looking quarterback, next available, right?
Yes.
So quarterback, next available. Well, that's Saquon Barkley because the Colts started Frank Gore this year.
Yes.
I
They
mean,
did see some upside in Marlon Mack. However, he's not
it's not Saquon Barkley.
He's not a 3-down back. Oh,
No.
he's not. Barkley's a freak of nature.
Barkley
That
is
guy's
a freak.
an animal.
He's a freak.
You're an animal.
But that's the way these guys look at this. Is they say, is this deal equal to this potential player? Mm-hmm. And to get into top.
That's why you see those crazy deals made with. Wait, they gave him a 1st and 2/3 this year? What?
Right.
That's
right. Well, and let's take a look at the draft. So we'll take a look at the order real fast because I think this is a really important topic to discuss and who has what. Again, I'm going to go back to overthecap.com because they have all the dollar figures in a draft chart that tells you exactly how much each team is spending per pick. So really, really valuable information. So I'm going to go to the draft real fast on overthecap.com and we can talk order and dollars and cents off their rookie pool.
The wild card and everything, as far as the Giants go. You have a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? That's what the biggest question mark is.
A 37-year-old Eli Manning, is that what you mean?
Yeah, he's 37.
Yeah. And you could get his replacement in this draft.
Absolutely. But do you get it in the first round? The Giants, to me, have a lot more needs than they could stockpile some picks if they wanted to.
Yeah, but that you take a look at the talent on offense, and I almost think you have to look at quarterback for them, right? Because you've got Beckham right now, right? You've got Sterling Shepard, who really is good. You've got Evan Ingram, so you've got young talent. And I think you have to capitalize on that. But again, they started nobody at running back. So Barkley's in play for them at 2 as well.
Yes.
Right? Because, so here's the order. You got Browns at 1. I mean, who knows? Browns at 1, Giants at 2, Colts at 3, Texans at 4, Broncos at 5, Jets at 6, Buccaneers at 7. So the way the order goes, in my estimation, is Cleveland's at 4. Excuse me. So it goes Browns, Giants, Colts, Browns again, because the Texans dealt that pick. Did they deal that 4th pick? Yeah, they dealt that 4th overall pick to Cleveland. So it goes Cleveland, Giants, Colts, Cleveland.
Oh my God.
So Cleveland's probably going to package that 4 deal and just absolutely destroy somebody for a quarterback. They'll get 2 more first-round picks out of that.
The Browns realistically could go Barkley and then whatever pick of their quarterbacks that they wanted.
Yeah.
For next year. Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
It's crazy.
This is draft day.
Yeah, it is.
We got Ray Jennings. Let's go.
So, like, if you're a Bills fan, the Jets scare you because you know they're in. The Bucks don't. The Bears don't. Well, yeah, the Bears don't. The Raiders don't. The 49ers, if they re-sign,
They're going to throw the house at Jimmy G.
They're going to pay.
And just to be clear, we know the Browns and the Bears both took quarterbacks last year.
Right.
But the Browns have seen that there's very little potential.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, less than what the Bears have seen.
Right, yeah.
Just trying to throw out.
Yeah, and you know, the interesting thing about the Browns is they've got, get this, they've got pick 1, pick 4, pick 33, pick 35. So they are in.
Oh my God.
They're packed. They're not stupid. You know, they're going to deal some of those picks. They're going to deal some of them. And, again, continue to build draft capital in future years.
Well, the Bills have 21, 22.
The way the Bills work out, they have 21, 22, 53, 56.
That's the second best thing to be.
So they're packed in, yeah. So they've got some tight picks, but again, they're later in those rounds.
Yeah.
And then they have 94, 123, 160, 165. So no 6th round pick, no 7th round pick.
So you have 5 out of the top 100 players coming out of college right now, realistically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's the way that works. Now, can 21, 22 get you 12? Yeah. 21, 22 might get you to top 10. But the question is, who's at 10? Who's at 9? Who's at 7?
And the only
Luckily,
reason...
the Browns owning two of those picks is, you know, that they're only going to take one position of need from you. Because
Yes.
they're probably, if I were the Browns, I'm going Barkley, name quarterback.
Yeah.
That's Barkley, insert name of quarterback. Let's see, and I'm just going to take the chance that the Colts, because if Barkley's gone, the Colts have no reason to keep the 3rd pick. There's no wide receiver that's a 3rd overall pick in this draft, in my estimation. There's some defensive end talent that's really good.
It doesn't sell too many tickets, though.
It certainly doesn't.